medical exam requirement that goes along with any immigration application that you're filing, specifically as it relates to couples. Our firm is dedicated exclusively to assisting couples. And so one of the requirements in your immigration process is that you would receive or have completed rather a medical exam. So for this medical exam, I am only going to discuss medical exams as they relate to a process called adjustment of status. And so for those of you who are new to the immigration process, adjustment of status is a process that is completed inside of the United States. We have videos and other information about adjustment of status eligibility and steps, but in general, someone who's completing adjustment of status is married to a United States citizen, and both the immigrant and the petitioner, the United States citizen, are living in the United States, and the entire process for the green card would happen here in the United States. So with that adjustment of status process, there is a medical exam that is required. We've seen a lot of chatter and a lot of questions in our Facebook group about how long is the medical exam valid? When should I get the medical exam? And so in this video, I would really like to discuss the truth about the validity of the medical exam as it relates to adjustment of status. And so I know there's been a lot of people in our Facebook group, a lot of rumors that say, oh, I think that the medical exam, I was told or I read it's only good for 60 days, that the medical exam is only valid for 60 days. And so I'd like to quickly go over what the requirements are in terms of medical exam validity, and then also what we do here in our office for our clients. So medical exams for adjustment of status, they cannot be more than 60 days old at the time that you file for your green card. So that's where the 60 days is coming in. Everybody is talking about that it's only good for 60 days. So the truth is that it can't be more than 60 days old at the time you file your application. Once you receive your medical exam and it's filed with your application, or once your immigration application is filed and you receive your medical exam, it's valid for 2 years. And so just to kind of back up and go over that again, I know that's a lot of information. The medical exam cannot be more than 60 days old at the time you file your application, and then it's valid for 2 years. And so what we do for our clients who are going through the adjustment of status process, we know there's a ton of documents that our clients need to collect, a lot of relationship evidence and financial evidence that has to be collected. And we know the medical exam, once the client obtains it, it's only good for 60 days. So what we do is we tell our clients, wait on getting the medical exam, or if we know they happen to live in a state where it's a bit of a longer wait to get the medical exam, we'll have them go ahead and schedule it. But we make sure that we don't file, when we file the application, that of course that the medical exam is not more than 60 days old, but we always make sure that we are working with the client to get the application filed first, not get the medical exam first, because we do only have that 60-day window. And then often what we do is we will just file the application without the medical exam. You don't actually have to file your application with that medical exam. You can take it to the interview. And so what we prefer to do with our clients is work on getting your relationship evidence, work on getting the financial evidence, prepare your adjustment of application. If you're able to get a medical exam quickly, then you'll go ahead and get it. We can send it with the application. But if not, let's not hold things up. We go ahead and send the application. When the medical exam is completed, the client will hang on to it. It's in a sealed envelope that shouldn't be opened. And then you'll receive a notice from immigration called a deficiency notice. It's not a bad thing. And immigration knows you might decide, let's go ahead and send it and bring it to the interview. And then immigration will either have you mail it in separately, or typically what happens, since I'm discussing an adjustment of status for couples, is you will take that medical exam with you to the interview. So a good rule of thumb is, I know you're excited and you're wanting to get all your documents collected and get that medical exam, but make sure that your application is 100% ready to send, and then work on the medical exam, knowing you can, either take it with you later to the interview or send it in later, but that's not a required component to be able to send the application. And then again, that once that medical exam is completed, it's valid for 2 years. And so sometimes officers could decide that they want you to have a medical exam, even if it hasn't, another medical exam, if it hasn't been more, even if it's not more than 2 years old. That's unlikely. Really, what we see is just clients take their medical exam to the interview, the officer asks for it, we give them the medical exam, and everything is fine on that front, because it's valid for 2 years. There's an old rule from about 2018 that used to say the medical exam was only good for a year, but that's been changed to 2 years. So that's the truth. That's where the 60 days is coming from, but it's 2 years once it's filed. So hopefully that helped clear up those rumors and that all makes sense. And of course, I'll post the USCIS policy manual language below this video, so you can see exactly what I am seeing, what the law is, what the policy is, so you can have that for your reference. I hope that helped.